Hey everyone, this is Wendy with eBay Scavengers. We're here with episode number 37, and I'm here today with Mikey.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi, Mikey. Maybe we should start this week off with a report on what happened this week and jump right to the chase and talk about the flood.
Yeah, so what happened is I flooded our eBay store this week. It wasn't intentional, but what happened was we had a swamp cooler, which is a device with a fan and a water pump, and it just kind of sprays water and has this evaporation effect where everything cools down in the desert when you run these in the summer. So the problem was the water line got loose and it flooded into our eBay store, and it was this old swamp cooler that Wendy had been begging me to remove and get rid of and put somewhere else. A new one in the house so that
like the garbage.
Yeah. Put a new one in some other room so our store wouldn't be at risk of any damage. And I didn't do it, and now we had a full day of just cleaning up everything so that we could recover from it.
So, not to get everyone in our personal minutia, but the thing about this swamp cooler was it had been spraying into the house, I think rust from its own wheels. And rust is really corrosive, and on numerous occasions I've pulled product to ship it to someone who bought it and could not because of this corrosion. So we had a liability in our store, we knew it, and we didn't fix it. That's really the problem.
Yeah. So this is, probably a word of advice to anyone who has a basement, they're storing all their eBay stuff, or maybe a garage with a leak.
Or keeps a window open or whatever. Yeah, really be careful with your stuff. I can't say my lesson was learned because I knew, but you certainly can.
Yeah, I messed it up. Anyway, fortunately, we didn't actually lose any merchandise.
We did.
Really?
I threw a whole bunch of stuff out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right. Anyway, we dried most of the clothes and stuff, and that's all back in the store. So
it was a grim moment, but let's move on to happier things. Yeah.
Yeah. So on a happier note, we had a awesome vintage closeout from an eBayer in town where they had been collecting great stuff in town for years. They had a sale. I saw people walking all over town this weekend wearing these great men's Guayabera shirts, including me. And I was like, "Hey, were you at the sale?" And yeah, I just got this. And so the whole town was just wearing all this great vintage stuff from this one sale. And we went there, and this is one of the first times we got into a big sale. First people in the door on a Thursday morning. We kind of coordinated a little bit to know when it started, and we could get in there right on time. And we really got some fun stuff.
Yeah. What was cool is he was really a friend of ours, so he was giving us a lot price. And right at the end, you were like, "Oh, and I got these electronics." And you showed him 6 little old radios and some widgets and parts. And he was like, just take those, or added $5 or something. And then as we're walking out of the building, he's like, "Hey, wait, do you think you can use these?" And he hands us just free 2 Adobe Photoshop and Illustrator CDs. A couple of issues back, so out of date by maybe 2 revisions. Anyway, we're like, "Yeah, what? Sure, we're an eBay store. We can use everything." So we take it all home, and within 24 hours, we sell a bunch of those radios and both CDs, right?
Yeah. So some of the radios, some of them were really cool vintage Sony Walkmans that had a little professional kind of options to them. That one wasn't even working and sold for $100. Other ones were some really cool calculators in the electronics pile that haven't sold yet. I think calculators move pretty slow, but they have a great look, and it looks like they will sell.
These have that blue glowy light on the numbers.
Yeah, the VFD displays.
Very cool.
Yeah, and they're just all kind of chromed out in this great 70s look.
It's like calculator porn, I think.
Yeah, this is calc porn. And we also picked up the CDs Wendy mentioned, and those both sold for $30, $35 each for these old Illustrator and, Photoshop CDs and stuff. So That was great.
So another thing that happened this week was Mike and I had been not listing things for a while. And normally we list things like every day or every other day. We're really active, but we'd been traveling and then had a hard time regrouping and getting our bearings. So this week we went from having not listed anything in a long time and also having the store ground to a halt, like 1 or 2 sales a week, to listing. And what's cool is Mikey had always had this theory that when you list a lot, something happens on the eBay side, like they re-index or something, and you get just more attention. And I thought that sounded like nonsense, but we've been listing again. And as soon as we started listing, everything in the store started to sell. Not the stuff we just picked up, not the new stuff, everything. So our business this week just like jumped, and that was awesome. And it's really just because we showed activity.
Yeah, we did. We list very quickly when we sit down, and we really listed a lot this week. And I think it also helped that there was a lot of yard sales. I see for ourselves, and when we start going to sales and finding fun stuff, it's fun to sit down and list them.
It is.
So we are getting pretty caught up on our backlog of stuff to list, which is great. And our store has finally gone from like doing $150 last week in net sales to doing what do we do about
1,000?
Yeah, about 1,000.
And that's more typical for our store. We have over 1,000 items listed, so we're about a third the size of Ryan and Jay's store.
Right.
So we had some other interesting things this week. In spite of being at a yard sale in a very poor neighborhood, in a very poor community, we stumbled on a Louis Vuitton wallet, still in the packaging, new with all of its little certification papers, and picked it up for $20. And so that's online. That's listed for around $1,000. That'll be exciting. I think it's a sure sale. It might just take some time.
Yeah.
What were some other finds this week?
Well, I got this worldwide Sony radio. It's kind of a big, hunky transistor one, and I don't really like doing things of this size, but there's a certain time frame, like 1950s to 70s, where Sony was just making some incredible-looking radios. This one, when you open it up, it looks like you could serve drinks from it. Like, there's so much chrome and, like, moving parts and options, and it's like 8 bands of radio. You can pick up, like, all these boat radio frequencies and marine stuff and, airplane. It's just all over the place. So I kind of like these giant vintage radios. And it's, they're worth a few $100s. You can pick them up for $10 at yard sales.
I think this is what makes this business so fun, because we're both like suckers for things we love, like everything from the 70s. It can be like the dumbest possible thing. I will grab it. Like those little unbreakable statues with a little girl, and it says like, my daddy is super duper. I'm just a sucker for it.
All those.
Yeah. And you have to trust that when you love it, somebody else is going to. And by having it moved through me, I got to like be with it for a while, and I don't have to keep it.
Yeah. So I think it felt good to us to have a much busier store, to hear the chings from the eBay app all week.
Now, we did have some, like, foo-foo. So we had, like, someone trying to break up a mechanical pencil set of 2 and only buy 1, and the set was only worth $15. So this is kind of typical. We get, on occasions, just like what seems to me to be sort of inappropriate questions. Because if you think about it, if you're asking someone, an eBay seller, to break up a pencil set, you want 1 out of 2 of them, the whole set's $15. What is that seller going to do after they sell you the 1? They have to put up a new listing for the remaining pen, take new photos, spend all that time, ship you your 1 pen. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So we had quite a few, like, things like that this week where we're like, nah, we're not even going to reply to this.
That reminds me of the shoe guy last night, too. Someone wrote in and said, how much did you pay for these shoes and when did you get them? And it's like, what? Do you want to buy these?
Yeah.
Like, what?
I'm not going to talk to you about the shoes.
Yeah.
But we did have a killer week on patches.
You did. You sold those patches.
Yeah.
You sold a patch, and the guy paid, and it was like $120 we got for one tiny patch. Like,
he gave me an OBO I listed it for $185. I always like to start off high. And I just said yes. We needed the money. We've been slow. But anyway, I picked up a zipper plastic bag of patches up north when we were traveling in Seattle, and they're like Boy Scout, military. I don't even really know what the hell hell they are.
I think they were mostly Boy Scout.
Cherokee, something.
Lodge, I don't even know.
Anyway, my research shocked me because several were worth over $100. And this week we sold one and we have a serious inquiry on the other, which is very exciting. And patches are my all-time favorite thing to ship because you cannot break them. They fit in an envelope and voila, like that's like the easiest shipping ever.
Yeah, and you can store a lot of them. Yeah. So I think one of our new challenges for us is we lost our mail lady. We had an awesome mail lady. Her name was Shauna. She came to our house, I think 6 days a week. She was like our full-time USPS employee. She was so good about dropping off packages, picking them up. We had like everything worked out, and now we've lost her. She's got a new job at another post office, and we have someone else. And already I feel the difference where we had a day where we didn't receive any mail, so the mail lady didn't even open our mailbox to check and see all the packages in there.
And also, our previous mail carrier was fine with us leaving little notes that say more packages in the car. And she'd go to the car, open the door, and get more packages. And if she had a big package, she'd leave it in the car. So we're going to have to retrain the new mail lady. Hopefully she'll be receptive. But that's a big deal. That's a big relationship in your life when you have an eBay store.
Yeah, and for me, every day that the new mail lady is not trained is the day that I might have to go to the post office and drop off the pre-printed label packages.
Worse.
And worse.
Talk to Sue.
Yeah, Sue is our worst nightmare. We have two post offices right near us, and the one that's within walking distance I actually don't go to because of Sue.
Now, thank God there's like very little chance Sue will ever hear this, but we have a postal lady that is so nuts. And if she's in a bad mood, she'll just like torture you for fun. It's like when a cat plays with a half alive mouse. It's like that. She will just like do crazy things, send you to the back of the line, give you back your package because it's like 0.1001 ounce off. Oh, she's a monster.
Didn't she throw a package at your head once?
She did.
Yeah.
She did.
And she accused us of like shipping alcohol.
She's crazy.
It's crazy stuff. Ugh.
Anyway, so it looks like that might be our week. What else happened? Anything on your list?
Well, let's just go on to say that this is episode 37, and next episode 38 is going to be about our process. And this is going to be just like Jay and Ryan's episode 36, except our process is pretty different. We do a lot of things different. So check it out, download episode 38, and learn about how Mikey and Wendy do their eBay store.